how do you stand out of 600 that everybody's beautiful, everybody's talented? I mean, I got called out for my weight that year. You train as this athlete, but they need you to look like a model. Like for me, it was like my worth is not in what everybody else says about me, it's what the Lord says about me. And they took a chance on me and it changed everything about me. I was gonna do it or I was gonna die.
So when did the dream of wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader begin?
I don't know if it ever did. I think it was more of a,
Fell into it?
this is what we're gonna do kind of thing. Again, I finished school. I did about a year internship at a physical therapy clinic in Louisville, Kentucky, and wrapped it up, moved back home. And I was like, I don't wanna be a physical therapist. I don't wanna go back to school. I don't wanna do this. My mom was like, ever thought about trying out for Cowboys? And she watched the show. She loved the show on CMT. And I was like, I've never even been to Texas at that point. Like, are you joking? She's like, let's just go try it.
Mm-hmm.
So we loaded up the car and drove to Dallas. And I went to a prep class.
Wow.
And she's like, you just need to see if you even like it. And I was like, okay. I walked in like pageant patty hair and you like Capizio tights. Like, that's not what they wear. And you get there and I just was like, where am I? This is crazy. Took the class. I was nervous to go in. She was like, get out of this car right now. We drove all the way down here. You're going in. I was like, yes, ma'am. Went inside. I literally got back in the car. I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do this. I want to be here. I'm going to do it. It was the coolest thing. We were at Valley Ranch at the time, the old headquarters. So it's so much history of the program. Went back home. I trained for like 2 or 3 months, kind of just by myself. And we researched this show, and like that's how I kind of figured out what to do.
You researched the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders through their show?
Like through the show.
I mean, I would have done the same thing, but I love to hear that you did that.
Well, like at the time, like there was no other way. This makes me sound ancient, but there was Instagram like wasn't popping off.
Yeah.
Like YouTube was getting, it was big, but like I wasn't gonna like go YouTube Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders and like try to find their routines and stuff. But like I'd watch the show, watch the audition process, questions they asked in interviews, what did their makeup look like, the people that they picked to advance. And so I'm like,
what's one prominent like scope that you have from that time of when you were watching that you remember?
Like what's that it factor? Like who are they putting in the front of formation? So like not only are they picking them to be on the team, but who are they highlighting? And so I think when I'm watching it on the show, I'm watching people that they pick and I'm like, what about them? Like, why are they magnetic? What's making them stand out? Because at that point, I mean, it's over thousands of people that audition now. But like at that point, like I think my rookie season when I tried out, there was like 600, and that was just in the first round. You got to make it out of that. And like, how do you stand out of 600 that everybody's beautiful, everybody's talented at that level? So it's like the captains from everybody's like college teams just show up, and then you have a few people that are just like, that's just a dream of theirs and they want to try. And you've got to start somewhere. It's like, yeah, go. But for the most part, like it's competitive. But like, how do you stand out? And I kept thinking like, what do I have to offer that nobody else does? And it's like a just being yourself kind of thing. So I remember just like walking up and like, hi, my name is KaShara Garrett. I'm from Irving, Kentucky. And I remember them being like, and then when you go back and like watch the show back then, like they had to put like subtitles on it. And I was like, really notorious for wearing the wrong outfit on the first night.
Are you in the wrong outfit? It's numball and that's strike one.
And in the back of my mind, I was just thinking like, man, they're going to send me home.
That's so much fun and nobody ever lives it down. Everything that I've ever gotten past that, they let me know. Like, you've come such a long way since wearing the wrong outfit. So when I got to the Pro Bowl, wow, the girl that wore the wrong outfit almost got cut not one. I'm like, yeah, that's been great.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's wild. You should go back and watch it. There were so many.
I will. I actually am going to.
The worst part, there were other girls that wore the wrong outfit that night, but it's just like.
And what would you say just about that overall experience, good or bad?
It taught me a lot on how to like block things out.
Like
because
just noise and like news and headlines and things like that?
More so like reality TV itself. Like they try to kind of like skew or set it up to be. So the show on Netflix now is very documentary based.
Yeah.
And like it's very much like about their lives. The old show on CMT was very much of like survival of the fittest. Like, can they make it? Can
Yeah.
they do the things? And like, there would be little things they try to trip us up on. I mean, I got called out for my weight that year, my rookie season. I got called out for like a bunch of different things that they don't even touch on now on the show. But it really did teach me to be like so certain in myself and just like, these are all opinions. I can either take it and like take myself out of the game, or I can take it and be like, you know what, fuel, here we go. Like, and just like add to like my drive. And I think that's what it really taught me, like from that side of it.
Well, I do feel like that's what like the show has kind of created the reputation for, is just the extremity levels of becoming a
yeah.
Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, like changing your hair, your weight, the criticism from the coaches, the nitpicking, the like you do have to be very secure in yourself to be able to stand in front of these coaches and get
take it.
ripped apart.
Ugh.
So, I mean, you having experienced that for 4 seasons in a row, like how did you deal with that mentally, and how did you kind of navigate that?
I have always been very grounded in my faith. My papa's a pastor, so I've grown up with, that side of it. But I actually really got stronger and built a closer relationship with God when I left Kentucky and moved to Dallas, and I was on my own. And it was, like, for me, it was like my worth is not in what everybody else says about me. It's what the Lord says about me. And so I would always go back and I'd have like these like 6 or 7 verses about this, 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 and this. And then whenever I started to feel down about myself, I was like, all right, you're focusing too much on you. You always feel better when you like give and like try to like pour your focus into somebody else. And so I'd always try to like reach out, ask somebody, call somebody, just check in, like, how are you doing? And that way you can kind of like take your mind off of it. That helps me stay grounded in it and stay secure. And then on the other side of it, it was like, I kind of like a challenge a little bit. Like, maybe it's messed up, but I like when people doubt me. And so I kind of like that they were like, this little country girl from Kentucky that, like has a funny accent and whatever else. Like, I kind of liked it. Like, I liked it. I liked having that kind of like underdog, and that way you can really show up and put your best foot forward. It's like, oh, dang. Like, yeah, I got this. Like,
Yeah, no, that makes
cool.
sense. I mean, just getting on that level. And would you say that after you showed up to that first clinic, because you mentioned your faith, and that's kind of what fueled you and got you through it, I feel like after that first clinic, it kind of became like a vision that God was giving you to pursue this, so nothing was going to get in the way of it?
For me, it was like I always knew that no matter what happened out of it, I was going to gain. Like, I was going to gain something. Like, I wouldn't have been brought that far just for it to be like a wash. Like, there was going to be something that came out of it, good, bad, either way. And that's kind of, I've always kind of, I feel like, had that self-responsibility and accountability of like, take what you're given and make it work for you. And that was kind of like the other side of it. I wouldn't call it a vision, because I can 100% say that there were some nights where I'd call my mom and be like, I'm coming home. I can't do this. And she'd be like, no, you're staying. You're going to do it. You're going to make that team. And it doesn't get any easier. Like, every year you're on the team, it only gets harder because there's more pressure. There's more expectations. You have more to lose. At that point, your life is built there. So I think for me, it was just I was going to do it or I was going to die. Like, there was no way that I was going to let this opportunity that I had been handed be for nothing. So I think that I want to say, like, I always had a vision that it would work out, but I definitely didn't expect it to take me to where it did now. So I think that sometimes that's a good thing, to like not have that expectation. And just to really like stay open to where you're at, what you're given, and kind of like take it as it comes. Because I feel like sometimes expectations lead to disappointments, whereas when you receive it in the present moment, it's just like an appreciation and gratitude side. And you can always handle either adversity or trials better when you're coming from a place of like, I'm just grateful to be here.
So tell me more just about the athlete perspective, though, of going through 4 seasons and, like you said, year by year, and just growing with this program, and maybe what people don't see or realize behind the scenes and behind the cameras and behind the production. Like, take me through the inside scoop.
So at the heart of it, we're all just girls. But which is the kind of the crazy part about it, is so you're navigating this like later 20s or like mid to like late 20s. Because at that point, most everyone we only had a few that were 18.
Okay.
But there is a variety of women that make Cowboys, and any team for that matter, or a variety of dancers, because some teams have males, some teams have females. But you're all either in that like post high school, graduating college, some are in school still. I had a teammate that was that had a 7-year-old daughter, and you're in this room with all these other people, and they have all these walks of life. So it's actually really a cool place to learn about yourself, because you've got all these other sides of it. But with that comes a lot of emotional, I don't want to say like connections, but interactions. So not only are you trying to navigate making friends in a new space where you know no one,
There's different maturity levels.
and so you want to make sure everybody feels included, but it's hard because there is a different, like my teammate that had
18 through 30-year-olds, basically. Like a 30-year-old hanging out with an 18-year-old.
You don't even have the same life at that point. So not only are you navigating that locker room aspect, but at the same time, you're on a team, but there's a lot of individual pieces. So this has less to do with the like actual like physical side of it, more so than the mental, because I think that is where people miss the mark on what it takes. So this is where I feel like it's either you're gonna have a great experience on a pro team or not, because there are a lot of individual opportunities as far as marketing items. So are you going to be in the calendar? I mean, they don't do calendars really anymore, but like who's going to be the cover? Who's going to be point? Who's going to get to go on this appearance? Who's going to go on a USO tour? Who are Kelly and Judy going to pick as a captain or a co-captain? And when you start to kind of like dwell on what you can get there, it can create a little bit of conflict within the team. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, like, well, we're all in this together. So that side is a little exhausting to try and like navigate and figure out. I always would tell people, like, if your locker room's good, your team's gonna be good. You're gonna perform better. So there's that side of it. The actual physical side of it is not only do you have to perform like a high endurance athlete, because game days are 12-hour days almost, and then you probably had rehearsal. We had rehearsal Monday through Friday. It started at 7. You got there at 6 to review, warm up. You're in the studio at 6:45, and that's after you've worked a full day. And if you teach fitness classes, you're up at 5:30. We didn't have a stop time, really. Later in my tenure, we would stop around like 11, 10:30 in season. Some nights we would get off a little earlier, but you definitely weren't out of there until like before 9 o'clock. So you're practicing long, late nights, and then you finish up, you wrap up, you go home, you wake up and do it all over again. You're just running on little sleep. You're supposed to look away. And don't forget full hair makeup. Don't forget smile. Don't forget be nice. Say hello and welcome. So you really have to like train. You train as this athlete, but they need you to look like a model. A lot of people don't know this. Like I had the same uniform for 4 years. So when I made the team, I was 23. When I left the team, I was 28, turning 29. Same uniform.
Yeah, tiny.
What?
Yeah,
so
I
like
know what you're
to try
saying.
and like stay in that, like
and
that's really
maintain.
hard to navigate.
Yeah. What do you think that is like your first year, or for you and for anybody else that's experiencing trying out for Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders for the first time and just being hit with all of this at once, different dynamics, vets, rookies, third year, fourth year, some are, better than others, some are in more high caliber with the coach than others. Like how does that feel going into this blindly for your first time?
Honestly, that's your best case scenario.
Yeah?
I think
You
it's
think it's
better to
better
go
to be
just like not really knowing what's going on.
Okay.
Because then you don't have that like anxious
Yeah.
anticipation of like, oh well, the show follows them, or
Yeah.
oh they've got this, or oh they knew that. Like you kind of just like
Okay, I'm
it's
here.
more internal
Yeah.
and like self accountability than like trying to like navigate, because you get to play the what if game until you're like brain dead. Like that's all you think about, and that will take you out of being successful on the team more faster than actually like your talent or technique will. So it truly is survival of the fittest. Like if you can stay locked in here and grounded and centered in like your head and your heart, I think that takes you so much further than just sheer talent.
But you gotta it sounds like you've gotta really, really want it. Like love
yeah.
it, want it, like live it, breathe it. Like
Because
it's
become obsessed.
Yeah.
In a probably not healthy way. Like, but it is what you you eat based off of the job. You work out based off the job. You take your trips based off the job.
You post, you talk,
Everything we do,
everything,
yeah. And you do it. And I'm still okay. So this will be my 11th season in the NFL. I just was my 10-year rookie reunion was like last fall, and I still post thinking about would Kelly and Judy approve? Would the Dallas Cowboys approve? Because I'm still a representative of the brand. It's true. Whatever organization you're a part of, whether it's all-star cheer, school cheer, college, semi-pro, any of it, when you put on a uniform or anything that has that kind of like logo and name on it, that's attached to you.
Yep.
And then all it takes is one time for it to be like something.
And it's always the
turned against it.
cheerleaders and the dancers held to a higher standard than the football
Always.
players. Like the football players, you know.
Yeah, no,
whatever.
they can do
but
whatever.
They can.
No, I'm kidding. They can't. But
You know what I mean.
it's true.
But one question I do have, like just from my curiosity of watching the show, is the hair part.
Oh.
When you walk in and get your hair changed, because my mom was a hairdresser. I grew up with her. I was always blonde my whole life. I was able to kind of always have nice hair the way I wanted it to look. And so I always wondered what that was like for these girls to sit down and then have to completely change their look. Did that happen to you?
No, I got lucky. They just she was like, "We should touch up your roots." I was like, "Okay, thanks." So I actually got to
I
stay.
could stay blonde.
Got to stay like the hair color that I came in with.
Yeah.
But I watched Kelly like lay girls down the floor and like match her hair color with the floor and be like, "We like that. That looks really good." And then she'd take some people and just like they'd go from blonde to brunette, and then they'd go back to brunette or back to blonde. Like she'd kind of like change her mind on things and stuff. But
and it's all about the picture, the main picture. How many blondes, brunettes, redheads?
But you want to cover it. So the way I kind of see it now and I look at it now is your spirit programs are truly like the hands and feet of the organization. So players and coaches, like they're not going to be accessible to go out into the community as readily as the cheerleaders would be. So when you think about representation, you think about making a connection with your community, the future of the sport, like who are these young dancers, young athletes looking up to? You want to make sure that that's covered. So I think when you do look at the big photo of it, it's more than just a hair color. It's who am I looking at that I can have a connection here with, and it goes a little bit deeper. I learned this now.
Yeah.
Now I was doing it myself, but I will say like the hair thing, and I didn't realize how like I always had big long hair. I had a situation where like my hair like got burnt off and fell out while I was on Cowboys, so like
oh boy,
that was. But then you end up with this like identity thing, and you're like, but my hair.
Yeah.
So like and really like when it comes to like pro style dance, like it's all about the hair. Like it's how you move it and you push it, like flow it around, whatever. So it was all coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, so I couldn't imagine what somebody be like that came in was like stuck to their hair color. And then next thing you know, like, I was like, no,
I don't know what I
red.
Nope. I've thought about that every time I watch it. Like I literally am like, I don't know. That'd be
sometimes
hard.
like it's hard to see yourself without it. And then when you look at it, you're like, okay, like
it looks really good.
she did like pop off on that one.
Yeah.
We had a girl on Dolphins this year or 2 years ago. She had like long dark hair. We had her in training camp and I was like, I hadn't done anything drastic with anybody else. And I was like, what do you think about a bob? And she was like, I mean, okay, yeah, I'll try it. Well, it ended up like now we call her Bob. Like on the team, like everybody's like, all right, Bob over, and like we call her Bob,
That's
Bobby,
so
Bobber,
funny.
and I'm like, the hair. Sometimes the hair really does just like stick, and now it's like her whole thing. But yeah, it's funny how like the hair can be such like a
big thing,
a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, now tying it into you being a NFL pro cheer coach here down for the Miami Dolphins. Now being a coach, how do you kind of create the culture for your girls?
It's not been easy. So I'll say that. I came in halfway through on my first season. So the previous director, she had been gone out of the position for at least like 3 or 4 months, I want to say. So NFL season starts in August, roughly, with preseason games. I think my first start date was like October. Luckily, this season you end up with about 10 regular season games. We usually only do home games. So luckily for me on that year, I'd had 5 to start and then 5 at the back half. So I had got there right at the halfway mark, but I was stepping into someone else's processes and programs, and I want to be respectful of that. So one thing that's huge about NFL cheer specifically is the tradition. Like Cowboys, I came from tradition. Like that's all it is tradition. And then I get down here and I want to be really respectful of it. I think probably to a fault because there were some things that I really probably should have jumped in and changed, but I wanted to kind of step back and ease my way into it. Um, I feel like I'm just now learning what each organization is so different. And that goes from Cowboys to Dolphins to Broncos to Raiders, like the way the clubs operate themselves and the way the stadiums operate. So right now we're going through F1 and there's race cars going around our stadium. So I can't even have prep classes or things at the stadium because it's literally on a build out for a completely different sport. So I'm having to like navigate these other things, which creates a different type of stress. So sometimes I can't really focus on like
The girls. And
what the team needs in that
yeah.
moment because I'm trying to like figure out like they just need
logistics.
a place
and-
to, yeah, like that kind of stuff. So, but now that I'm having a better understanding of the organization itself, I'm able to kind of see like, where are our dancers from? I'd never lived in South Florida before. Like the culture here is different.
Oh, yeah.
And that the culture in South Florida can be different from north of the stadium to south of the stadium. And so I've really tried to just jump into the area head first. I'm in these studios, I'm taking classes, I'm meeting these other dancers and choreographers that aren't necessarily in our space and seeing like, how can I be so familiar with the community? That way, when people come here, it should match and feel the same. So I've always said like, I've had coaches that have put fear into me. I've had coaches that would literally, I babysit their kids. I've had coaches that really just lean in and like, I want them at my wedding, you know, like, so there's that aspect of it. So I feel like I've had coaches from all sides and it's like, who do I want to be as a coach? One thing I always want to make sure that I do is just like, I'm always going to lead with my heart. I'm always going to lead with love. I don't feel like anybody should show up somewhere feeling stressed and like nervous to be there. It's a sport that you love to do and you wouldn't continue to chase that and sacrifice. Like we all moved from our families. So my family still lives in Kentucky. And I'm still just as far away now as I am then, but the sacrifices that they gave for me to be able to continue this dream and to keep now pouring into other people's dreams, I'm never gonna take that for granted. So I'm not gonna sit in my car and be stressed about coming in to a practice because this is what I love to do. So I'm never gonna I don't wanna create that space for my dancers either. I'm working hard on figuring that out. Now, on the other side of that, I am in my 30s and I have some dancers in their 30s. So now managing and coaching at a similar age is very hard because I do realize like sometimes like, yeah, like
You want to be friends with them.
and odds are we have very similar interests. And so I am close with them and I want to be close with them and friends with them. But then it's like you end up with that, like, you still have to create that like discipline and that like, that, you know, that pecking order of like, but I need you to do this.
Yeah.
So I try to operate out of respect for them and then hope that respect is, you know, returned. But it's been a learning curve. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my limits and like what I had, like how far I can like push myself in that space. But I would say as far as like building that culture, it goes back to like, I've lived it, I've done it. And I want them to know at the end of the day that I wouldn't be asking them to do something that I haven't already done myself.
Right.
And I'm not setting them up for a standard that I don't already hold myself to. So I feel like that's where it comes from. It comes from a place of experience. It comes from a place of like, I love this. I mean, just like I did on the team when I was on Cowboys, I eat it, I sleep it, I breathe it, I talk about it constantly. It's all I post about. It's my life. And if there's anything I can do, it's hope. Kelly and Judy gave me an opportunity and they took a chance on me and it changed everything about me. And so I want to make sure that I can still create that space for somebody else. And so I feel like that's kind of like, that's where my coaching mentality is like full circled around to now.
And how did you get recruited to come coach down here?
So it goes back to a small world. My group leader on Cowboys, my rookie season was JC Scott.
Mhm.
She was LSU Tiger Girl and then did Cowboys and then went on to be Radio City Rocket. And now she's the head coach for the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders. I got a text from her, like randomly in, I want to say like August, September. The job had been sent out to the other directors, like, hey, if you guys know anybody that's interested, like, this position's open. She sent it to me. She's like, I really think you need to do this. And I was like, JC, I love Dallas, Texas. I ain't leaving. Like, you're crazy. And I was working for the Cowboys still and kind of like transitioning into like, what do I really want to do? And I'd been like thinking about it. But like these opportunities don't open up very easily. Like there's 26, 27 teams that have cheerleaders. So not even every team has cheerleaders. And once a coaching position opens up, like, typically they stick around. It's just how it works. Like it's a really coveted space. And rightfully so. It should be. It's a precious space that we need to take care of. But anyways, I was like, I don't think so. Like I love Dallas. I'll probably just stay here. And then I was like, you know what though? I might. Like I could try. Like sure. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna send my stuff in. And I got a call and I kind of started to go through the interview process. And I was like, I literally just took it as like, all right, like I'm not moving to Miami, but like I'm gonna keep going. And then I got the call on my birthday, which was crazy enough, on my birthday that I got the job and they needed me there in like 2 weeks. And I was like, got it.
So you had to move your whole life from Dallas to Miami in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy
so I just like
smokes.
packed my truck up.
How'd you find a place that fast?
I didn't.
Oh.
That was chaotic.
Like Airbnb it?
Well, I moved into an apartment. It was not where I needed to be. Like I was like, I didn't realize like where you live was such a thing in South Florida.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, where are you living? And I like telling them like, oh, okay. I was like, I guess I need to move. I don't know. It's like I ended up like figuring things out, like moving like down to like Davie, but it ended up being like the craziest thing where I was like, I just like, you don't know. And like, I didn't realize like Broward versus Miami-Dade. Like, are you a Miami person or are you a Fort Lauderdale person? Like, that's a true like thing too. And you learn it when you get here. But so I had like 2 weeks just like pack my stuff up.
You're learning the South Florida culture.
Ooh, I did. I
so
did.
funny.
So that was really exciting. But I say it's exciting. It was stressful. But just figured it out. Like moved in here. It was just me and my dog. I was like, okay, I don't know anyone.
How about game days as a coach on the NFL sideline in Miami?
I think it's way more stressful than when I was on the team.
Really?
Yeah, because like, I'm almost like out of control.
Yeah.
Like I can't help what they do. I'm like, oh no. Sometimes the music isn't correct, or sometimes the music won't work, or sometimes they can't hear it. Like same thing. In Dallas, we're an indoor stadium. You don't got to worry about rain. You don't have to worry about the wind. Your hair's going to look great. The sound is always perfect, pretty much. Hard Rock's open air. It rains a lot. Like sometimes like you're just out there like water's just dripping off they're just in it soaked. My cheerleaders are. And because it's an outdoor stadium, like the sound bounces differently.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like they're hearing the music versus how I'm hearing it. And I'm trying to call the things and it is different. It is very different. Also, football in South Florida is a little bit different too.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Football in South Florida is a little bit different, but I have a good feeling about this year.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, Dallas Cowboy game coming to Miami Dolphins. It's different.
It's different, but the energy's still there.
Yeah.
So I feel like honestly, I will say like Dolphins fans are a lot more like
they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
And just a little fun fact for the viewers that are listening. I actually did take one of KaSha's pro cheer dance classes back in January. I absolutely sucked.
No.
No, I danced up until mine was the opposite of you. So I danced first. My mom was a dancer, ballroom dancer, did
I love that.
all of dance, competitive, all of that. So I danced first up until I was 9, and then I wanted to do cheerleading because I wanted to be with all my friends.
Right.
So then I went and I was like, I miss my friends. I want to go back.
The cheer side is a lot more like of a tight-knit community though. Like,
but it was so fun. I mean, you can call it journalism research that I was at one of your classes back in January, and now
you have to come back.
Sitting down.
Like, you don't let that be like your last one. Like, you've got to come back and do another one.
But like you said, cheerleading's very stiff and everything,
Yeah.
and dance is very flowy and moving your body very like,
It's
flow.
a little more
It's
performative
hard.
too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
It is.
It's really
can be.
hard. Like the beginning, you got me game day.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
cheered at
the clash.
UCF. I can cheer a crowd on, but I mean, when it comes to the swinging the head and the neck and the dancing and the twirls and the choreography, I was like,
Nah. You just keep kind
I had the first like 2 8 counts. And then I was like, all right, I don't think
No.
I had the last one. I was at the one, remember the dance studio closed down and
Oh,
or
yeah,
they
we
had
had
it
to
booked out and you had to
reschedule.
reschedule it for the next day? That one. That's the one I was at.
Yeah, I was ready to go bust through that window.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
"Y'all got all these people out here." We had like 20-some, like 20,
Yeah.
like 25 people, which ended up being probably better that the next day because we didn't have as many, so you had a little bit more room to do what you needed to do. But no, you need to come back. I think like last night I had like I want to say like 50 dancers in the room, and it's really cool to see like everybody kind of like at different skill levels
Mm.
putting in that same like energy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a cool
It's fun.
community.
It is
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun.
And I totally would have kept doing it if I was really good. But
no.
I totally would have tried out. I would have went all the way through. I just can't really dance that well.
You should. You
I
should just like try
can't.
the
I
process.
just can't do it. My friend Sydney went through it though.
You'd be surprised. I bet there'd be a couple judges. They'd like comments would be like, potential.
Potential, yes. Potential, yes. I could
They
do
would say,
potential.
looks good in the uniform.
I could,
Like,
yes.
that'd be like a
correct.
cute little
That would
moment.
be me. I heard like back in the days, like Dolphins
Mhm.
culture was like very much potential, grab and develop. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I've heard. Now it's not like that as much, but I heard like 10 years ago, that's how it kind of used
I
to
would
be.
probably that's.
Like you look good in the uniform will develop you and make you into a good dancer.
I think that's probably like across the board ish. Maybe
Oh.
like I think NFL. I think the dance world has just changed
Really?
the. I
Maybe
say
I'll
this
give
all
it
the
a
time.
shot
Like if I
again.
tried out for Cowboys now, I wouldn't make the team.
Yeah? You think?
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're insane. Like
Yeah.
these dancers are nuts. Like
But how have you been liking South Florida now? Year 3. How have you liked coaching, being a part of it all?
I
Being
like
down here in
it.
Miami?
It's fun.
Yeah?
It's been. I'll tell you the best thing about it is I have grown as a performer, entertainer, dancer, because there's so much culture,
Mhm.
and different varieties,
Mhm.
and it's a huge.
I mean, you had to teach. How was that pivoting to Miami style dancing too?
Like that's why I
'Cause
take.
it's different, right?
Yes, I go take like reggaeton classes.
Yeah.
I take partnering classes so I can learn how to like actually like partner with someone because
Yeah.
sometimes we need the girls to do that, and
Yeah.
it
It's
is
different style than Dallas,
Yes.
right? It's very
Dallas for like
very
okay.
sexy, you
So
know? You gotta drop the
Dallas,
word, but
I was considered the sexy girl. Like I was like sexy. It was like the
Yeah.
nickname. Kelly wrote it on my Barbie, and it was like I was the one that was always like doing the flirty faces and
Yeah.
the booty
yeah.
and
Number 36, KaShara.
I get down to Florida, I'm like, oh, this was nothing compared to what is happening here. Like I need to step it up.
Yeah, Miami dancing. It's different.
And like, but it's got some flair to it, and it's its own thing,
It is.
and it's
Own style.
it's cool. And when I go other places now, they're like, do a Miami routine. I'm like, I'll try my best. It's like a version of it.
I mean, I love watching your little dance class videos you have on your Instagram.
I try.
You
I'm
kill
trying
it.
really hard. You're sweet.
You are trying it really. You're doing great.
there's
I love
nothing-
watching them.
I'm gonna do it's commit, and so I go and I don't. I'm learning some Spanish. I'm working on it, but like sometimes I'll go and take these classes, and like it's in like the instructors only speak Spanish, and the class is taught in Spanish, and I'm just
Oh
like,
wow.
figure it out. Here we go. So that's been like,
You got your
something
little our little Southern Belle here in South Florida.
hear me out.
I love it. Just I remember also like when I was taking one of your classes, just learning performing in front of the stadium.
Oh my gosh.
And being performative with your chest and looking up and this all here and instead of like right in front of
Right.
you and a camera.
Your fans are up above you.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that actually probably like love it more.
Mhm.
The ones that are right in front of you, they're the ones that probably just like, I'm here because my company has a suite, but like the fans that are like, these were my kids' Christmas gifts. We come every year. We love it. Like we have a NFL themed den or something like that, whatever. Like they're the ones that they're up there. So like you really like, they're the ones I feel like that like you need to like open up your heart for. So
So what's one high and one low that you would say while living here and coaching and this new journey?
I'll start with my low because it does get very lonely. So and not in a like a I'm sad way, but like
Mm.
more so in a way where it's like I work a lot of hours, and I have to kind of remain separate from my cheerleaders and stuff. So because I'm always like I work 9 to 5, and then I'm at practice from like 6:30 till whenever we finish, which is typically like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Some nights later, if it's busier. And then on the weekends, I either go do workshops or we have games in the fall, or I'm trying to go home and see my family. And so not only is it hard to keep up with my friends that I had from Cowboys, it's hard to make new friends. And so I'm in this kind of like eternal like struggle of like, am I just living to work or am I working to live? Like, what does that look like? Trying to figure out things in ways like make yourself feel more in
And
it.
one high.
My high probably will be I'm definitely a lot more out. I don't want to say outgoing necessarily, but I'll try new things. So like I'll go take these classes. I might not know anybody in there, but I'm gonna walk in. Usually I would have probably drove up to the studio and been like, I want to go home. Like I'll get too nervous to go in. So I'll go do things. I do a lot more by myself and go to, I feel like I try more. And so that's been a really cool like side of myself that I've kind of grown into. Liberating. That's the word I was looking for. I feel like a lot more liberated living here and being in South Florida just because there is a little bit more of there's a different work ethic down here. Like people are hungry and they're hungry to work and they want to work and the dancers and that side of it. And that's who I've kind of been around. So I like that. I like that it's pushed me. Again, it's been a challenge to live here and to continue to like grow and be successful. And I think that that's probably the thing that I've liked most about it is that it could have been really easy for me to be like, you know what, like can't do this. Like thank you so much. I want to go home and gone back to where I'm comfortable. But it's been really cool to like coach myself and train my every day to be something that's like, you don't know what to expect today, but go try it. Like you got this. And it's grown my faith a lot. And I'm just really grateful for it. It's cool. It's fun.
And one message to wrap this podcast up is kind of just what do you have to say to the girls that are going to be trying out for you next season, the girls that are coming back, they're going to be coached by you this season, and just overall the Miami Dolphins cheer program?
No matter what happens with it, you are going to get something out of it because it doesn't matter tangibly what you get, whether it's on the team, a uniform, an appearance opportunity that's in Brazil, a TV show, a Netflix show, more Instagram followers, you get the clout from it. It's not about that. It's about where you're pushing yourself because this is you're a former in this world and you look back and you're like all those nights that I was upset or frustrated or this, like I'd give anything to have that back. So for me, I look back on it and I'm like, I would give anything to have a weekly class I can go to and be training for something. It's that goal. It's that passion of it. And I'd love to be back in the locker room with my best friends. I would love to be back on that field and like have those moments. And so I think that when I'm working with them, it's no matter what happens, you're going to learn something about yourself. You're going to meet somebody great and you're going to have the things that you learn as you're going through it, whether it's your first time, your sixth time, or you're coming back to it, you're going to there's going to be something in your life down the road that it was on purpose for. So whether it was for you or for somebody else, I don't know, maybe you were just there to meet your best friend or to meet the person that's going to connect you to your future husband or future employer. Like it's such a, you get what you give. And so if you show up and you sow good seeds and you sow happiness and positivity, it's going to come back to you. And you truly are it's an energy transfer. And if you bring good energy, it's going to come back. And so that's kind of how I feel like I'm trying to go into this season with optimism, delusional optimism.
And one message to all the Miami Dolphins fans that are going to be coming out to the games.
That cheerleaders always win. The cheerleaders always win. Let me tell you.
Love it.
There's one thing, whatever the game is, whatever the points on the board are, whoever's playing on that field, the cheerleaders always win.